Imagine transforming your career from a developer to a senior associate in the data industry. Sounds interesting, right? Meet Priyanka Shah, who shares her journey in SkilloVilla's success stories about how the placement team's support helped her choose the best job offer. So stay tuned to find out more. Hey Priyanka, hi.
Hi, Shruti. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for asking.
Great. So first of all, thank you so much, Priyanka, for joining me and giving your valuable time for doing this interview with us. I'm sure this is going to be helpful for a lot of people out there who wants to be a data analyst or maybe data scientist, but somehow they do not get that right career path, how they should start, what are the things they should consider while upskilling themselves in the data domain. So I'm sure this interview is going to be helpful a lot to all those people because I'm sure your journey must have been very exciting, very it would have been full of learnings and ups and downs. So I'm excited to know about your journey with SkilloVilla. But before that, let's first know about you, what you have done in your graduation. How did you decide that you want to pursue your career into data analyst domain?
Hi. So I did my graduation in engineering in the fields of electronics and communication, which has nothing to do with data. And immediately after my graduation, I joined Infosys as a systems engineer. So with Infosys, I was a developer. I worked on the front end. I did that for around 3 years, but after which I couldn't see any growth in my career. And then I came across SkilloVilla as a platform. And I just enrolled myself for a demo class, and I found it very intriguing, the data and everything. And that's when, after 3.5 years of doing a developer profile, I switched to my profile and I enrolled myself with SkilloVilla for the data analytics course. And after which it's only been an uphill, and I don't see a downhill from there, because not only did I progress in my career, which I had been stagnant for 3 years, I progressed impressively well, but I switched cities. I learned so much more from the educators and everybody. So now I work as a business analyst in MNC. I'm a part of India team. We're developing a software as well as we are dealing with data for clients on an everyday basis. I work in fintech currently. Okay. So that's a completely different domain from what I was doing earlier. Right. But SkilloVilla has been a great help for me to achieve it. Not just this, the first job that I got through LinkedIn was also because at that time I was learning from SkilloVilla, and they just told me to apply for it, and they said, let's go for it. If it works out, it works out. And I was the first one in my batch to actually acquire a job on my basis and not just like that.
That's really great. Can you mention your company name? What is it?
SS&C Global.
Got it. Great, Priyanka. And let's go a little back where you said that, you found out about SkilloVilla. Before that, did you prepare your mind that you want to now venture into data analyst domain? Or you just happened to found SkilloVilla and you found it interesting and then you decided that this is something that you want to do?
So I was looking at various domains where I could switch, because the domain that I was currently working in, I wasn't very interested in that. I was surfing through a lot of things, and then I came across SkilloVilla. So then someone suggested that maybe you should do data analytics. So then I was searching for courses where I could find data analytics or someone who could teach me different tools or something like that. Mm-hmm. And that's when I came across SkilloVilla.
Okay. So before joining SkilloVilla, did you also evaluate other platforms?
Yes, I evaluated one other platform, but I wasn't convinced with the progression of the course that they were offering me. And when I spoke to one person with SkilloVilla, I was thoroughly impressed within the 10 minutes that I spoke to the person, and I enrolled myself around at 12 a.m. that night. So I spoke to her at 10 and enrolled myself at 12. I was that convinced.
Oh my God, that's nice. That's good to hear. Great. So, okay, now that we have talked about SkilloVilla, so let's go into detail now. How did your learning experience with SkilloVilla was? Let's talk about curriculum first. How is it benefiting you in your current role?
In my current role, the tools that they taught me, the skills that I acquired when I was learning on that platform, it is so detailed, from the minute detail to the very large problem statements. everything is covered. So one person develops that thinking process on how to approach a problem or how to tackle a thing. So that I developed during the course. And right now it's helping me because the tool is different, but I know how to approach it.
Got it. You have like a fair idea. Must be
Yes.
the tool must be the similar to the tool that you have learned at
Yeah.
SkilloVilla. So you have a fair idea how to operate with it. Great. So can you name some tools and the skill sets that you have acquired by going through the course?
I got knowledge on SQL, which helped me a lot. Then Tableau helped me a lot, and advanced Excel. Although people do not take advanced Excel very seriously, to be honest, but the amount of interviews I've given and the amount of questions the interviews ask me about Excel, you would not believe. People actually require Excel skills, even though there are tools that we have now Power BI, we have now Tableau, and we have many such tools. But Excel is the most basic thing, and if you do not know Excel, you cannot use these tools that easy. Yeah.
Correct.
So advanced Excel, even though everybody is like Excel to aata hai, but no, you should, because when you learn advanced Excel, you know that you know nothing about it.
Exactly. It's like people can just do a basic calculation, they think they know Excel. Even if they know only one function, for example, VLOOKUP, they think that they know advanced Excel, but it's not limited to VLOOKUP or some basic functions. It's a pool where you have to deep dive into and you have to learn a lot. And I think it's not only in the data analytics field, but in any department, majorly if Excel is something that everyone should know, irrespective in which department you are in.
So I now work in fintech. So all of our data is either in Excel, because our finances are in Excel, and otherwise we are working on the technology. I know how much Excel I use on a daily basis.
Right.
And because I was so thorough during the course that now I can easily navigate through it. Otherwise, people are just looking how to create a basic pivot table or a power pivot.
Correct.
And it just takes me 10 minutes and I can get through with it.
Correct.
It takes me a lot of time and effort.
Exactly. I can actually relate with you because I myself use Excel a lot for my daily task. I create reports and everything. And it's not about even creating pivot table, but also finding out the insights from those pivot tables are the crucial skill set that you should know. Okay, that's great. So Priyanka, what was the one particular thing about the curriculum did you like the most?
I like the daily, like how we were given tasks and we were given a time frame to complete it. And there were people around to always help us out with them. Also, it gave us a sense of a classroom feeling. Usually when you study online, you do not get that feeling. You do not commit yourselves to the course. Even though it was a study on your own course, but we still had a task, we still had goals to complete before we met the next time. So that gave us a sense of direction as to how to progress through the course. And because we were meeting weekly, bi-weekly, we had doubts and someone was there to address it. So we knew we need to get it so that we could be active in that call when everyone meets. So that helped us a lot. Otherwise, during the other courses that I've seen people do, there is no follow-up between the institute and the student. They're just given the course material and they have to complete it, and then there's the certification exam.
Got it.
This where we had that interaction with the other batchmates as well as the educators, that helped us a lot. It gave us a sense of direction as to where we are going, what we need to do. We learned a lot from their experience. We learned what mistakes the other people were making, so we learned from that as well. So that really helped each and every one of us.
Got it. I think the point that you're highlighting here is the human interaction. So one is that the theoretical knowledge that you can acquire is like through the pre-recorded videos that you can go through it. There are assignments, you have to complete those assignments, submit it, and then your milestone will be completed. But apart from that, to understand the practicality of the things that you are learning, the live interaction with the industry experts is very important, because these industry experts not only help you in solving the problem, but you also get the industry updates, what is going on in the currently in the organization, how will you approach those business problems and how are you gonna solve. So that is a very important aspect of live sessions. I'm sure you were talking those the live sessions.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. That happened on Saturdays and Sundays. We would cancel our plans because we had live sessions during those days. Because we were so involved, each and everyone was, and everyone came with a different perspective, and you learn each one's perspective and where each one is coming from, and then you understand, oh, maybe that could also be a possibility, or maybe this could also be. So you learn so much, and then it was always fun. We learned also, but it was fun. They gave us so much to think about for the next time. So that was really something.
Okay, this is actually this is something new that I have also heard. I've spoken to a lot of candidates, the learners on our platform, who tells about the live sessions, but this is something that I've got to know about from you actually. So what I can sense here is that you get that learning community in your career track basically, where you bring your suggestions, you get to learn from other people's perspective, what solution they have got, and then you interact with the industry experts who gives their insight, what went wrong, what went right, and how you can actually approach this particular problem. So is there any specific live session with any industry expert do you remember that was very interesting?
I think Naman. We had a few of Naman's session, and we had so much fun during his session. And later on, we had a lot of sessions with Deepak. We had a lot of one-on-ones with Deepak as well.
Great, Priyanka. So apart from that, what kind of support did you get from the team? Were you also working along with pursuing the course career track from SkilloVilla? Okay. So I'm sure there will be the days where you have a deadline to submit your assignments, plus you have your office work as well. So how do you used to manage that? Do you used to get any kind of support from the team itself?
Yes. So sometimes there would be clashes where we would have releases on weekends, and there would also be classes on the weekend. So then we would speak to Abdul or someone, and they would help us. Maybe they'd record the session for us, or maybe sometimes the session would get delayed.
Okay.
If there were a few of us who couldn't join the session. So that helped us a lot. Sometimes during the assignments and everything also, some of us were facing some issues and we were not able to submit it, and they provided us an extension to the deadline that maybe you can do it this, since you informed us beforehand, and it's not something that it's a genuine problem, so we'll give you an extension. So all of these things happen. The support that during the course we received was during anything that we needed to balance our work as well as the curriculum. So that never lacked on their end. They were always ready to hear and help us out in whatever way they could.
Okay, got it. So as a working professional, how much time do you use to invest in learning the curriculum?
If I would do it on a daily basis, it wouldn't require me for more than an hour or two. So every day, an hour or two would be enough. I followed that rule. Then I would give it an hour every day, because I used to work in US shifts.
Okay.
My clients were in the US.
Right.
So I would log in late during the day. So my morning period was allocated to doing this in the morning, and then later during the day I would work.
So I think this is a message for a lot of working professionals out there. Like this is basically a doubt that a lot of working professionals have, that will I be able to manage it, both the things, and how much time do I have to invest? So it's not only about investing 1 or 2 hours, but you also have to be consistent with that. It's not like one day you've done, the other day you left it. It won't work like that. So yeah, that is one thing. Okay, Priyanka. So moving forward, let's know about your placement journey with SkilloVilla. What was the steps of process that you have to follow, and what are the things that you acquired from the placement journey?
So the first thing that helped us was the resume building activity that they did with us. They provided us a template, and we were asked to build our own resumes based on the template. So using that template and the resumes we made, and they proofread it. They actually proofread our resumes, and they came back to us like, you need to change this, you need to change that, you need to highlight this even more. So that was really helpful, because sometimes we lack that resume building, because resume plays a very important role when you're applying for jobs. That helped me. Because of that, I was shortlisted for a lot of interviews.
That's
and great. I'm telling you, a lot of interviews.
That's great.
And then mock interviews that they conducted for us, they were extremely helpful.
So I was saying that resume is the first touch point when you're applying for any job. you won't get a chance to speak to the industry expert out there. They see your resume and then you were shortlisted from that. So we at SkilloVilla ensure that your resume looks professional, is not too much word heavy, should be to the points, should have all the relevant skill set that is required for your job role. So all those things are very important. Then comes your mock interviews. Like you said, mock interviews helps you in building the confidence, and you get to know how to answer those questions that you will be facing in the final interview rounds. So all of that, like basically you become an industry ready before taking your final interview.
Yes.
So that is there. So you mentioned earlier that the placement team shared list of companies that were hiring for so and so role, and that's how you applied for the role and you got selected. How many companies you would have applied for?
I applied for a lot of companies, to be very honest, because I was very actively looking for a job in this domain. So even before I completed the course, I already had a job as a financial data analyst with one of the leading sectors in finance. That's ICICI Lombard. So I worked with them for a brief period of time. I applied for a lot of interviews, jobs, and I was shortlisted for a lot of interviews, at least 50 plus.
Okay.
And 15 to 20 actually came back to me. That's the statistics that I can give you.
Yeah.
And when I was joining SS&C Global, I had 3 offer letters in my hand, and I chose one of them. I was constantly speaking to one person from SkilloVilla who was guiding me on how to crack each interview with each company. The base profile was same, but the requirements in each profile varied. So I was constantly in touch with them, and they would tell me that when I had interviews with Morgan Stanley, they said these are the key points that you need to focus on, and with another company. So with that, I cracked all 3 interviews. I had 3 offer letters in hand, and I chose one. At that point, they were with me on the phone, like, did it go well? What were the questions they asked? Did this help you? Did this not help you? So they were really, really helpful during that period.
Great. I think like 2 things that I can highlight from your journey is that the curriculum was so strong. So while going through the curriculum itself, you already had a few offers in your hand, and you've also started working as a data analyst in the companies. Apart from that, while negotiating and while understanding what are the key points that you have to take care of before taking that final interview, through the placement team basically helped you in understanding those key factors and helped you crack those interviews. I'm so happy to hear your story.
Not only during helping me to crack those interviews, but also during the negotiations, I was speaking with them, and they were like, don't ask for this, ask these questions. So they were with me during that period as well, and they helped me get the best offer I could possibly get.
Priyanka, this is what we actually expect from our students actually. See, if you have to be successful in something, it doesn't go one way. So if you've enrolled for the course and your ultimate objective is to get the placement at the end, so it's important that if we are providing you all kinds of resources, then it is your duty as well as a candidate, as a learner, to be consistent and follow the schedule that is being provided, do your assignments on time, attend all those live sessions, make full utilization of all the opportunities that you get from the platform. Then nobody is there to stop you. Once you've done your assignments, submit your assignments, complete all your milestones, you get certified, and then the placement process is there for you to help you out, from resume building to getting your final offer with salary negotiations, mock interviews and everything. So we are there to help you out with at every step. But the only ask is that the student also have to be determined, be consistent, and have that will to learn and achieve something in life. So Priyanka, as a final word for all the data analysts and data science aspirants who wants to build their career into data domain and also wants to upskill themselves and enroll in the SkilloVilla's career track, is there any recommendation from your end?
Me being a certified data analyst from SkilloVilla, I would recommend it to every person who aspires to become one. This is the best decision that you could ever take. Only if you're determined and to do it and achieve the greatest, this is the platform for you, and you're going to do great things if you just concentrate, focus, and be determined to achieve your goals. SkilloVilla helped me through it, and I, from the bottom of my heart, thank them that whatever I am at this point, it is because of their help and whatever had they provided me during the 6-8 months that I am able to achieve and stand on my own 2 feet. So thank you.
Great, Priyanka. Thank you so much for again giving your time and sharing such an insightful and honest interview with us. I'm sure this is going to be helpful for a lot of people out there. Since you are since you are an alumni of SkilloVilla, you have 2 years of assistance. So in case whenever you want to switch your career again, switch your job or something like that, if you need any kind of placement assistance, again we are there to help you out. At last, if apart from that, if you need any kind of help, any kind of assistance, then we are just a call away. Do let us know, and we would love to help you out.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Priyanka.
Shruti.
Collaborate with the SkilloVilla community today.